Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a little app that I created called makelive. It's based on the open source GitHub repository called makelive that combines images and videos and turns it into a live photo. If you aren't already familiar, a live photo is an image that has an embedded video inside of it that was taken at the same period of time. iPhones have had this feature since the iPhone 6s back from 2015, and every iPhone since then has it enabled by default. I personally love this feature and I always use it in my photos because it gives you a little glimpse back into the past when the photo was taken. However, one small issue is that whenever I'm using my Sony camera for photography or any other cameras, they obviously don't have the same feature built in. So I built this tool with the help of the makelive GitHub repository to help solve that issue. And as you can see here, we're on the GitHub page and go ahead and download the release. You will have to sign the app yourself, and once you have done that and installed it, you can go ahead and launch the app. So a couple more details about this app. You can pair any image and video file that you want to create into a live photo. So this works by changing an ID, an identifier inside the photo itself, and Apple Photos recognizes the identifier between the two images and the video, and then based on that it automatically pairs it. So some features I added in my fork of the repository was adding HDR support, and as you can see here, for this demo, I'm using an HDR image that was taken on my Sony a7 and edited through Lightroom Classic, and I'll also be using an HDR video to show that all the metadata is preserved, and when you're playing back the live photo, all the features are still available. So the metadata from the original camera, any location data, and the HDR gain map data for all the videos and photos will be preserved. So you can go ahead and select your video and photo. And as you can see, this is a pretty large video as well. This is a 100 megabits per second 4K video. And I just chose this one to show that it does work with any video that you choose. And these are just some photos and videos I took back from my New York trip. And so you can go ahead and import them, and then since they're not the same name, they will be unpaired, so you'll have to select them, and then once you click process, just allow access to the photos, since only the Photos app can play the live photos. In a Finder app, you can't view the live photos since they'll be automatically unpaired. So here in the Photos album, a new album called makelive will be automatically created for you, and then the live photo will be there. So you can go ahead and hover over the live indicator, and here you can see the metadata is all preserved. And in case you don't have iCloud storage, you don't have to be using iCloud storage for this to work. You can always put it in your macOS Photos app and also airdrop it directly to your phone as well. And just to show that all of the metadata is preserved, I will be exporting it directly from there. And you can also see here that the file sizes are the same and all the details of the video and photo are the same. So it's still a 4K video, and yeah, all of it is preserved here. And before we move to the next part of the video where we automatically pair them, I will be showing you how to rename it. So if you have the renamed video and photo, when you import them, it'll be automatically paired when you import it. So here it goes directly to the paired queue instead of going to the unpaired queue. And you can also go ahead and process it, and yep, just like that, it's done as well. And as you saw there, the compressed video feature is something I also added to help save on iCloud storage. So if you have an iCloud storage, it won't show it directly in the file size here, it only shows the file size for the image, but the live photo data does take up more storage in your iCloud photos, even though it's not showed. So if you are cautious about that as well, feel free to click on the process with the compression, and if you would like, leave a comment down below and I can add more options to expand the compression options for that. Right now it's limited to 10 megabits per second, and here it compresses our video down to around 7.8 megabytes. Yep. And also the HDR data is still preserved since it is an HEVC file instead of a normal H.264. So now for the automatic pairing. So this works by scanning your iCloud Photos library automatically. So you might have seen earlier the scan library option. So if you store all of your photos in iCloud Photos already, you can go ahead and pair it and have it scan it automatically for you. So instead of downloading the video and photo pair manually, if you have the timestamp on your image and video correctly set, this tool can go in and scan all of your photos and pair it. So none of the data is sent anywhere, it's staying on your device, of course. And the speed of this tool fully depends on your internet connection. So if your iCloud photos take a long time to download before it scans, that could potentially slow things down. So here I'm setting the date range from Christmas break last year to the current time. You can also change the pair window. So if your videos are like slightly out of range, it might help by increasing that. However, this might create like false positives. So here, after you click scan, it will show all the different cameras that you found. So I generally tend to only choose like my Digicam, which obviously doesn't have its own live photos. And also, if you do find your iPhone here or other mobile devices, it only scans the ones that don't already have a live photo. So you don't have to worry about duplicates and adding videos and like deleting and all that mess. So here I'm going to be selecting my 2 Sony cameras and then my iPhones as well. And here you can see they automatically show up in the pending queue. So they're obviously already paired, which saves a ton of time instead of going back and pairing them yourself. And if you want, you can go ahead and right click and remove directly from this queue, so you don't have to go back and then delete a processed photo already. So yeah, once you're happy with that, you can go ahead and click process all. You can compress all of them or not compress them, but for this demo, I'm just gonna hit process all without compressing them. And as you can see, as it is processing, you will see in the background that it will automatically start adding as well. So you can view them in real time. And this part also does depend on your iCloud. And of course, if it is stored in iCloud photos, this will take longer if your internet speed is a little bit slower. So here you can hover over the live and see that it works. And this is for my Digicam, of course, and all the metadata is saved here. So these are just some photos I took down at an aviation museum in California, and as you can see, the live photo adds a nice touch of having the plane take off instead of just having the boring runway on your screen. So this is all from the Digicam as well, and you can also see how many are in progress, how many are pending, and I have not added support for parallel processing. I will have to look into that, and if you guys comment down below, I'll definitely look into that some more. And here you can see once it's done, it'll say all of them have been added. And this is some more examples from my Sony a7 Mark III. So this is a video that I actually took that was right next to it. So I took the photo first and then the video on the same camera. And as you can see, the timestamps like help a lot by lining it up. And this is at a mall in New York City, and as you can see, the live photo adds a nice effect of showing the different colors that the balloon was instead of just the single one that was in the photo. And in this one, you can see the fountain motion in it as well. And I just want to note that you can always share these directly using AirDrop or iMessage. So you of course do have to share through messages to show the live photos, as well as WhatsApp has added support for live photos recently as well. So to show that, you will have to send it through those as well. And I do recommend only sending the compressed ones through the iMessages because it does take a longer time to send the full-size videos, but as you can see in messages, it does send with the live photo. And yeah, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or any bug fixes y'all want me to do, just leave it down in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.